Amazon KDP Select isn't exclusive anymore. That's right, you heard that right. You can now cheat on KDP Select, and Amazon's like totally cool with it. And they're basically saying, you can date me, but you can also hang on my cousin. Totally cool, no drama. Anyway, let's get into it. Recently, Amazon or KDP Select announced, well, quietly, they didn't really announce anything, but they quietly put out their feelers with a few people, influencers and such. They also updated the terms and conditions over here on their help topics stuff. So over here it says requirements KDP Select is for ebooks only. So this only applies for ebook format. Okay, so not including paperbacks or hardcovers or audiobooks. This is for the ebook only. All right. Anyway, if you were thinking about KDP Select, which is Amazon's kind of exclusive club, okay, where they give you like countdown deals, Kindle Unlimited deals, you can be part of that only if you are part of KDP Select. Anyway, they recently updated this. So usually it goes for 90 days, and many people in many genres and niches will find that useful, especially like the genres where people really enjoy reading. They read like huge amounts of books and they just can't get enough. They recently opened it, no, to KDP and public libraries. So they are allowing you to kind of cheat, but with a select few people only, and that is public libraries. So that's something you need to be aware of. But let me dive into why this is good for you. Obviously, the first thing to say is if you do decide to put your ebooks with libraries, you are automatically reaching, potentially millions and millions of readers who are all maybe logged in online and they can read your ebooks virtually. So that's a huge plus. Okay. Obviously, you need to make sure you get your books into the libraries online, but just remember that sales are never guaranteed. You still need to make sure your book is priced okay and stuff like that, right? There's a couple of different models on how libraries price books, but basically you're going to be reaching a lot of readers, which is always a plus, and you may get paid for it. And I don't know how many you will sell. You'll just have to see how it goes. Book sales with libraries is up and down. There's no guarantees, but it's worth a try in my opinion because now you can reach many more readers. So my preferred way to do this is using Draft2Digital. So I just want to show you which buttons to click. Right, so what you want to do is log into your Draft2Digital account or wherever you are publishing with, and then go to the final step, or usually the final step where you're choosing the retailers that you're selecting, and then scroll down in D2D anyway. You want to scroll down all the way to library services, and then make sure, well, for me, this is what I've checked, and I'm happy to get my books into these libraries, right? Library services catalog, and there's a pricing that you need to be aware of. I'm just going to read what D2D recommends, and they say we recommend a library price approximately 2 to 3 times higher than your digital book price. I've seen other people mention like 4 times, maybe even 5 times. Personally, I just gone with like 2 or 3 times, I think. So I'm okay with 2 or 3 times for each sale. Just so you know, um, there are different like library pricing models. So there's cost per checkout, and then there's one copy, one user. So just be aware that there's like a different pricing model basically when it comes to libraries. So although you can go wide, the pricing is slightly different. So if you get the cost per checkout, for example, like Hoopla, don't expect to get like huge amounts of royalties, basically. Um, so yeah, that's something to be aware of. And this is basically how you can get the best of both worlds, right? You can get the library distribution and you can get KDP exclusivity and participate in all the wonderful things like Kindle Unlimited and stuff like that. Personally, I'm just wide, so I'm not in KDP Select, but I thought This is something that everyone should know about. Okay, so just to summarize quickly, you can cheat on KDP Select with places like Draft2Digital only to get library access. Okay, only with libraries. Really important that you make sure you note that only libraries and nowhere else. Okay, so Amazon has basically opened a little bit of a back door for you, right? So hopefully you take advantage of that. I hope you get lots of sales. Before just so you know, before I hit publish with D2D, I always run through like a quick checklist just to make sure I don't miss anything. I've got that checklist, so it's in the description. It's also in the comments. Feel free to check that out. Completely free. Until next time, hit like, and I will see you in the next video.